My question is, are you all listening to Donald Trump? Now, before you all get upset, let's just look at who gets persecuted and who gets condemned. Does the media condemn the people that lie, or does the media condemn the people that tell the truth? Second question, do the powers that be persecute those that are lying, or do the powers that be persecute those that are telling the truth? Who's the greatest threat to the powers that be? You all would agree that it's people that tell the truth. So anytime we see the powers that be and the media going after people, we can pretty much assume, based on history, that they are going after the people that plan on disrupting the system by telling the truth. Now, many of you all will have an immediate emotional reaction when I ask, are you all listening to Trump? Just like you all can't really fathom that all of this COVID-19 thing is a big smokescreen, a big curtain, or lack of a better word, a big distraction, because it's distracting you from the truth and what's really going on. You all can't fathom that all of this stuff is a part of some big plot and big plan, and at the center of it, they have you and I as the prize. But aside from all that, are you all listening to Donald Trump?
I've heard the term middlemen for a long time. They are so wealthy. They are so wealthy. Nobody has any idea who the hell they are, what they do. They make more money than the drug companies. You know, in all fairness, at least the drug companies have to produce a product, and it has to be a good product. But the middlemen, well, the rebate that I'm doing cuts out the middlemen, and it reduces costs, and the money goes back to the people purchasing the drugs. So I have a lot of enemies out there. This may be the last time you'll see me for a while. A lot of very, very rich enemies, but they are not happy with what I'm doing. But I figure we have one chance to do it, and no other president's going to do what I do. No other president would do a favored nations, a rebate, a buy from other nations at much less cost. Nobody. And there are a lot of unhappy people, and they're very rich people, and they're very unhappy.
I wanted you all to pay attention because I want you all to realize that, isn't it strange that out of all the presidents that we've had, the media is against this one president? Isn't it strange that it's acceptable to publicly talk negative about the president? This stuff isn't strange to you all? This is the same America that we've been in this entire time, and now America has a moral compass. Now America's going to tell everybody this guy is bad and he needs to be out of office. That's not strange. I don't use my emotion to make any decision for me. If I do something I feel is right, I do it because I believe it's right. And so I do it because it's the right thing to do, not because it's an emotional charge that came over me. There are a lot of people out there that I don't want to do things for because I don't like them. But I do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. So I don't base what I'm doing on any kind of emotion. But have you all been listening to Donald Trump? I'm not saying that Donald Trump is perfect. But what I am saying is there are certain things Donald Trump is saying and doing that are a benefit for us. You see, we think once Donald Trump is going out of office that everything is going to be perfect again, not realizing that it's not. It's going to be worse. I know it's hard for you all to swallow that pill, but it's going to be worse once he's out of office.
But the Chinese, what they said is China would prefer Joe Biden, whether they do. That's their conclusion, that they would prefer Joe Biden.
50% of America has already said that they are not going to agree to this. So more people have to stand up for your individual rights as a person. They have come against and come after the religious exemption forms, the medical exemption forms, and the philosophical exemption forms. They are basically trying to say, listen, there is no excuse, you're going to get this. Or, like I said, you'll be fine, you'll go to jail, you can't go to public places, you can't travel, you can't get on an airplane, you can't... Boy, America is Nazi Germany. Just understand that. An oligarchy, fascist government, you name it. But we have to rise up and stand against it. We don't trust these vaccines, and we never will.
And just in this room, you have dozens of people who are not following the guidelines in New Jersey, which say you should not have more.
No, they don't have. It's a political activity. You're wrong on that because it's a political activity. They have exceptions. Political activity
and it's also a peaceful protest. So when you have, and as you know, they asked if they could be, you know, a number of, and to me they look like they all have, pretty much all have masks on, but, you know, you have an exclusion in the law. It says peaceful protest or political activity, right? In fact, specifically, yeah, it says exactly political activity or peaceful protest.
Am I advocating for Donald Trump? No. Am I telling you all to vote for Donald Trump? No. I'm simply asking you all to listen to what Donald Trump has been saying. And keep in mind, the media doesn't want you to listen to Donald Trump.
Very importantly, I'm also looking at a term-limited suspension of the payroll tax, something that has great support from many, many sides, especially some of our top economists and some people that we have great respect for. So we're looking at a suspension of the payroll tax.
I've been talking about the beast coming. I've been talking about the market of beasts. I've been talking about this whole COVID-19 thing being a big scam. I've been talking about all this stuff because there's so much going on right now. This is the year 2020. This is the year of clear vision. This is the year of clarity. This is the year of understanding. So they're not going to be able to distract you from the truth. Normally, if this is 2019 or 2021, maybe. But 2020, it is going to be very difficult for them to distract you from the truth. That's why they had to come up with a Peter Pandemic.
I'd call it peaceful protest because they heard you were coming up, and they know the news is fake. They understand it better than anybody. And they asked whether or not they can be here. Like the question about Russia. He doesn't mention Iran was in the report. He doesn't mention, or he mentions very late that China was in the report, because that's the way they are. They're not. If the press in this country were honest, it wasn't corrupt, if it wasn't fake, our country would be so much further ahead. But we're doing really great. Thank you all very much.
Now, we've talked about mankind, and we've talked about mankind's agenda. We talked about mankind not being fully human, and we talked about mankind wanting to alter your DNA and wanting to alter my DNA.
The PCR tests were never meant to detect a specific virus, and yet they are being used today to detect COVID-19. The CDC even admits that the PCR test will detect any viral infection as COVID-19, including the common cold. The current data from the CDC on COVID-19 shows the same fakery that we have seen so far. Just as the CDC falsely counted pneumonia deaths as influenza deaths in the past, they are now counting both pneumonia and influenza as COVID-19. You can see it clearly in the CDC's own data. Beginning in the end of March, right after the shutdown began in the U.S., pneumonia and influenza deaths dropped to zero.
We've had a medical breakthrough in 2020. In our quest to achieve stellar health, we've learned from our most trusted health authorities that there's only 4 things you need to do to have robust health and a strong immune system. Wear a mask, socially distance, hand sanitize, and stay inside. That's it.
And I also want you all to pay close attention to America and who's in America. Joe Biden said specifically, we are fighting for the soul of America. What is the soul of America? Who is the soul of America? Now think about it now. Anytime we've talked about soul, and we're not talking about soul in South Korea, anytime we've talked about soul, it's always been linked to who? It's been linked to us, specifically us.
I looked at why I should be running, and one of the reasons I concluded was after he saw those folks coming out of the fields down in Charlottesville, chanting hate, their veins bulging, literally bulging, and anger and hate, accompanied by white supremacists and the Ku Klux Klan. I wrote a piece for Atlantic Magazine that said, we're in a battle for the soul of America. And folks, we are. I know all, you know all in your gut what GK said. This election is different than any you participate in, no matter how old or young you are. It isn't just policies or agendas that are at stake. It's the soul of this country, the character of our people. No, it really is. The entire idea of America is on the line with this president.
Joe Biden said we are fighting for the soul of America. What you all don't realize is that we are here. So because we are here, this makes America the unique place. This makes America the unique place. This is why they need America to fall. Not fall in the sense that you all think to crumble into ashes.
American history is not a fairy tale. Thomas Jefferson wrote what many believe to be the most important document in human history. He was a slaveholder. We've never lived up to our American ideals. Jefferson himself didn't. But what he wrote has pulled us towards justice for more than 2 centuries. It's always a fight, and it's a battle that is never fully finished. But if Donald Trump is reelected, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation. If we give Donald Trump 4 more years, this will not be the country envisioned by Washington. This will not be the nation bound together by Lincoln. This will not be the nation lifted up by Roosevelt or inspired by Kennedy. It will not be the nation that Barack Obama proved bends toward justice. We can't and I will not let this man be reelected President of the United States of America.
Once America becomes like China, then you will see America be the beacon for the world. They want a one world government. I'm not making this up. You all know it's true. They want a one world government. They want to get rid of the cash. We've been talking about this. Once the cash is gone, that's going to be pretty much it.